Hello, Run Fit Bam. If you are training for a marathon right now, then you know it's basically a part-time job. You got to get up early, you do the work, and then maybe you come back for a strength exercise later in the day. Maybe it's a full-time job. But I want to give you a time-saving, full-body strength workout that is still specific to what runners need, because we're working quads, glutes, hamstrings, core, and single leg balance in one workout that will take you 25 minutes. So let's hop in. This first exercise is a compound exercise, which we'll talk about later, but you need to know it involves upper body and lower body. Now, the trick here is a lot of people try to jump into that first version, when in reality, we need to slow down and make sure we master each step before we combine everything. So take your time here, first getting comfortable with the step up. You're probably not going to be using a heavy weight here because we're going to be adding in a front raise. Now, I cannot do that with 20 pounds. Now that you can see it, that would be silly, right? So I have 8 pounds here, and I am focused more on stepping up with control, same with stepping down with control, and using my opposite foot here as a kickstand. That is the second step, to master the front raise with the step up while maintaining my balance. When I'm comfortable, then you can see that I actually lift that knee up for even more of a balance challenge to end with this guy. But take your time getting here and watch your heart rate. Hamstring strength is extremely important for runners, and I want to show you a different way to spice up your single leg deadlift. You're going to be taking that leg that's usually trailing into the air. You're going to be pushing that foot into something solid like this wall here. What this does is you are obviously still balancing on the stance leg. You are still hinging. This is still a deadlift hitting your glutes and hamstrings. But because the leg is no longer trailing in the air, it is actively engaged in extension. You are engaging both the glutes and the hamstrings of the opposite leg, working smarter, not harder. We got a couple of things here. First, we're strengthening our leg muscles, our quads, in a way that looks like running, and we're also strengthening back muscles, which is very important for speed. However, we're going to critique the crap out of my form here because this movement is just hard for my body to put together. What I want you to focus on is lunge first, row second, then return to starting position. Lunge, row, and return back to starting position. Also, I want you to think about thumbs to armpits. You can actually see how my shoulders dip too far forward. I've gone beyond the range that is actually a row, so don't try to over row. Don't try to overdo the movement. Take your time with this exercise and make sure your heart rate is not getting too high. No wimping out on me. Yes, you must try the front rack of this squat. What makes this a front rack is the weight is high and up. It is elevated, meaning the weight is going to feel like it's pulling you forward. I want you to pay attention to where I have these kettlebells racked. They're actually resting on top of my shoulders. So if you have dumbbells at home, that is where I want them to be. I also wanted to show you a plate in case you have a big awkward weight at home. Holding this high up instead of down, like maybe around your midsection, will also make this a front rack squat. Why you want to do these is they particularly challenge your core and your quads in an amazing way that is very spicy. And you're back, Running Fit Fam. Now, there's a couple things we need to talk about that are extremely important, so I need you to stick around. I need you to hear me out. These exercises, some of them are compound exercises, meaning they're combining two body parts at the same time, typically meaning lower body and upper body. Now, especially with the lunge and the row and the step up and the front raise, something I need you to be aware of is your heart rate. You might need to check it because when I do those exercises, my heart rate spikes, and that is not the purpose of this workout. You are already getting in plenty of cardio with your marathon training, right? That is the main attraction. This strength is meant to supplement and support your marathon goal. So because compound exercises just by nature increase your heart rate, you might find you need to rest more. And that is the second thing we're talking about, resting. Resting is important with any strength exercise so you get quality reps over quantity reps. That's not saying more reps is bad, but I want you to hear we want quality reps. And because we want quality reps with compound exercises, you might need to rest more. Something I do when I'm actively doing these in the gym, either doing a video for you guys or for my own workout, I just check my, sorry, I bumped the mic. I just check my heart rate. I have a heart rate monitor on my watch, but I don't need to look at it to know my heart rate is elevated. I need to know immediately if the breathing technique that I'm doing is helping to decrease my heart rate. That way I know when I'm ready for my next set. In case you wanted to know what I do, I put my 2 fingers on that artery and I take a very deep breath in and I slowly breathe out. And that controlled breathing will naturally lower your heart rate. So in case you want to speed up the recovery process, that's an easy peasy way to do it. So Running Fit Fam, if you made it this far in the video, you know what to do. You need to subscribe so we can hang out more often. And until next time, dare to train differently.